You wanted the best. You got the best.
This is Hall of Famer Dave LaGreca.
And two-time Hall of Famer Bully Ray.
And you are listening to the Shout It Out Loudcast with Zeus and Tom right here.
Oh, boy. Here we go. This is Gene Simmons. Put that cookie down. Kiss. Stop pressing the button. Star Simmons. Star? Paul Stanley. Is that what he does? Stop shouting. Ace Frehley. He's not what you would call a handsome man. Oh, no. Here come the kiss times. Is that a positive thing? Okay. All right. I'm going to grab me an ice cold mellow yellow. Why do that to the fan? Stop it. Why? Because fuck them. That's all. What are you talking about? 617-525-08. You do? Hey, fucko. Do you like Kiss? Settle down.
Hello. Hey, what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus, another episode, Shout It Out Loudcast, episode 285. Kiss on Arsenio Hall. This is from May 21st, 1993, Tom.
Arsenio Hall. Oh. Is there anything, if you made a list of the top 5 most 90s things.
Arsenio! Remember that fucking thing, that guy?
Are you sure that they were on the Arsenio Hall show and not the Saturday Night Live skit Arsenio with Dana Carvey?
Oh, In Living Color used to totally fuck with him. Oh, they didn't like him very much, and they would definitely mock him.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Anyway, Tom, last week we had a small topic, not very polarizing.
No.
We did a member profile on Tommy Thayer.
Mm-hmm.
And first we did, I think, the poll, which is contributions from Tommy.
That's right. Yep. So as always, we do a poll. So we asked your favorite Tommy era song, and we picked his contributions and then kind of the big song from each of the albums that he was on. So the options this week were Out of This World and When Lightning Strikes, his vocal songs. And then Modern Day Delilah from Sonic Boom and Hello Hallelujah from Monster. Modern Day Delilah kind of runs away with this one, 51%. Hello Hallelujah at 23%. When Lightning Strikes at 17, Out of This World at 8.
So Tom,
I really like the Tommy vocals, but anyways,
so
yeah, what do you
for me,
on
Instagram, I did it differently because I knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah,
everybody went to the non-Tommy led vocals.
Oh yeah, of course,
right? Because those are more popular songs. So what I did is obviously the two Tommy vocals. When Lightning Strikes, Out of This World. And then I added the songs he wrote with Kiss when he wasn't even in the band.
Yep.
Childhood's End and Street Give It, because I think that's more of a Tommy flair. He wrote those songs rather than he performed on them. And on that one, Tom, When Lightning Strikes, ahead, 39%. Nice. The Street Giveth and The Street Taketh Away.
Yeah.
I just think of, and Gene taketh away. You give Kiss money and Gene taketh your money away.
That's right.
That got 25%, Out of This World 23, and finally Childhood's End at 13.
Nice. So a couple comments on the poll as always. Hall of Famer Jim Riley says Modern Day Delilah, great guitar, kick-ass Tommy solo. Happy Tommy is living his best life. Yeah, that solo is just fucking legendary. I don't give a shit what you say about Tommy. That solo kills. Lee Bruton, Modern Day Delilah. When that was released, it was so good to hear new Kiss. Agreed. James Six Star says, I think Modern Day Delilah sounds like a classic Kiss song and has great Tommy solo. Tommy's songs on Sonic Boom and Monster are very, very good. I love those. Kyle Schneider with a hot take here, Zeus. Hello Hallelujah is just as terrible as Boomerang, which is probably the worst song in the Kiss catalog. Wow. Woo. That's a rough one.
That's just terrible.
That's a rough
terrible take.
And then Chris Colby likes to come in here and tell us that this is mainly through process of elimination because none of these songs are very good. Okay. I know you kind of just have to laugh.
I've seen stuff like that. And then I think there was another one where someone's right. None of them count. He's a hired gun. He didn't contribute. Oh, his contributions were zero. He's a hired gun.
God. Let's see what else we got here. Our good buddy Brad Baird. I am a fan of all eras of the band. Tommy is a hard worker and picked up the slack when he had to. Gene said, don't come on if you don't do windows. Tommy has my respect. Thanks, guys. Bill Carroll says, great episode, guys. Your top 10s were diverse and thought-provoking. Great job, as always. Well, thank you, Bill Carroll. And that's what we got for Twitter this week.
Well, we got a shit ton on Facebook.
Yep.
And I'm not going to bore you with the same old, but I'll give you some of the comments here. Jason Warden says, true Kiss MVP on stage and behind the scenes. Yeah, Tommy. Bad matchup, backpack, Brad Rustoven.
Bad matchup, Brad.
Instead of fake ace, I think Tommy has earned the new nickname, Pro Ace.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah. Vince Fasano. People can knock him all they want, but I appreciate him. He played a crucial role in keeping Kiss active and relevant in the modern music scene, ensuring that the band's legacy continues for a new generation of fans. If people took the time to listen, his guitar work is solid, certainly not the reason why their Sonic Boom and Monster aren't held in high regard with Kiss fans. If you're a huge hair metal fan like me, check out Miss Mystery by Black and Blue. Love that song. One of my favorites from that era. A few people brought up that song. I've never even heard it.
That song's not bad. I actually think it's better than Hold On to 18, which seems to be the one that you hear more often. But yeah, it's okay.
Stacy DeVille put a probably one of those pre-show kind of deals where the band was playing some songs and Tommy was ripping it. It's from something from Saskatoon.
Okay,
that she had taken some video of Tommy playing.
That's cool.
DC Allison. Great episode, guys. This one had my sides aching from laughter. Thank God for Shout It Out Loudcast, the only Kiss podcast hosted by Kiss fans who get it.
Ooh, wow. Love that. Love that.
Bobby Kenner wrote a nice comment. It's a little bit long, Bobby, so we do appreciate it. And it just got to move on to the episode, buddy, but it's a great comment.
Yep,
Check it out.
Yep. Thank you.
Over on Loudcasters, Josh Brown says, fake ace. Before even listening to the episode, said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. It's fucking stupid to hate this guy. He's literally playing a role he was hired to play, and anyone in this group would have done it if asked. So the hate he gets is just absolutely stupid.
Bingo.
Christopher Powell says, okay, scrap next week's episode right now. Next week should be 100% dedicated to the Ace cult losing their minds about this week's show. You know, I expected this to be probably about, I don't know, 65-35 or
maybe more
60-40.
Yeah,
around that, like negative shit. I am shocked. It's probably about 80-20.
It might even be less than that. Yeah, I think so.
80% positive and 20% negative. We got, people that are just cool about it. And they're like, you know what? I don't like that he wears the makeup. I'm not listening to him, this and this and that. Okay. And then you had other people that are just, lost their mind and take it personally that fucking he's in the makeup and just cannot reason to anything other than like, this is the greatest travesty on humankind.
Yeah,
it needs to be fucking.
The majority of
changed.
The majority of it, the people they get it. So, which is good to see.
Charlie Reisner, I hope I'm saying that right, Charlie. Fans are entitled to their opinion. The fact that the dislike for Tommy and Eric dressing up as Ace and Peter has not let up and going on 25 years maybe shows what a lame move it was to do this in this first place. Bruce Kulick got it right this week in an interview, and he said he would not have to want to dress up as Ace. Therefore, he got to keep his dignity. I'll have a comment about that in the news section a little bit later, but
I just want to jump on Charlie's comment right now. And Charlie, we appreciate your support, your fandom, your listener. But I think the response to fans about them not liking Eric and Tommy wearing the makeup, I don't think that is a sign that Kiss made the wrong decision. You can't look at a group of people who think something sucks and to say that
the stubbornness of people in a fucking
like
group.
That can't retrospectively make the decision bad. But I get what you're saying. I get it, but I disagree.
Yeah, I mean, if you go and look and you put on something on the internet about like, oh, it's a so-and-so anniversary of the moon landing, you will get a percentage of people.
There is no moon landing.
That will fucking, no matter what. And are you supposed to give them credence? Because after all these years, there are still people that say, Kevin Jepsen.
Giggity, 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 giggity.
There's no moon landing. Go watch Room 237, the documentary.
How can they land on a circular object when everything's flat?
Go watch Room 237, the documentary about the making of The Shining with all these conspiracy theories, and people will tell you that Stanley Kubrick made that movie to show you how he helped film a fake moon landing. It's brilliant. I love listening to crazy people. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Adam Nierenberg. Eat your ass out. Listening to you two is like Thursday night on NBC, must-see TV. The other big Kiss podcast is not worth a side of a nickel to call them out by name. It's like watching news on PBS. This is why you are number one. I think Adam has got into it with one of them, I think, not too long ago. Too. Right?
Adam's got opinions, which I like. We'll get into that.
He's a good guy.
He is. He's a great guy. We love Adam.
Daniel Haller Houston. Tommy's a fellow native Pacific Northwesterner made good. He's supremely talented, hardworking, not only the guitarist, but also in artist management. Without him, Kiss stops in 2000. There was zero chance they would have been able to continue with Ace. The band would have ended and we would have been robbed the past 24 years. Tommy deserves complete respect.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Agreed.
The great John Whiteman. It sucks that Tommy is terminally underappreciated as a musician and for his behind-the-scenes work for Kiss. He did way more to save Kiss than Vinnie Vincent ever did, but gets called a scab or worse by Kiss tards. I don't know if that comment is accurate, but all right. But that's the power of the Ace cult. I'll take an electric blue Tommy Thayer Les Paul over an electric brown Ace Fairley signature shit bucket any day. He's got a pail of shit with the photo of Ace and that photo that I don't know.
He's like squatting up against the side of a fucking BMW or whatever.
He looks like a little kid when they're pooping and they don't know what they're doing. And it's
or it looks like when a mom goes, Billy, do you have to go to the bathroom? No, I'm all set. I'm good.
Charles, don't call me Mark Eaton. Always appreciated Tommy's professionalism in the face of the criticism backlash from the Ace cult. He got the ability and chops. He earned his place in the band long ago. Wearing spaceman makeup was going to be controversial, and Kiss knew that. But the dollar signs they saw on having the original four Kiss character makeup styles meant more to Paul and Gene. They could have used the Vinnie or makeup for Tommy after Ace was out. It may have been less triggering, but probably a little less profitable. It would have been a lot less profitable. But that's my opinion. After having to do more merch, PR, and ad changes, Tommy accepted what was asked of him and has always handled it with style. His two makeup albums he played on were better than I expected they would be. Tommy's guitar parts always fit the song. His vocals were surprisingly well performed, even though his songs are sculpted to fit the spaceman character and the space theme, and he killed it on Sonic Boom and Monster. I'd be glad to see him perform and hopefully record again soon, with Kiss or without. Just to put down my top 10 Tommy songs, Out of This World, Lightning Strikes, Back to the Stone, You Say Yeah, and Dangerous 6 times.
Yeah.
Horrendous. You great comment up until that last part.
Oh, God.
Danger me, danger you, danger us.
I love it.
Horrendous.
Love it.
Benito Gonzalez says, Tom, he do our good job for Kiss.
See,
my friend. Say hello to Pico Chris and Pablo Stanley. Joey, I wear my sunglasses at night, Romanek.
Oh, God.
Killer shows, guys. Tommy deserves respect from all Kiss fans simply because if you appreciate having Kiss around for the last 20 years, you owe Tommy a thank you. Whether we think he should be in Ace's makeup or not is a moot point because that decision has nothing to do with Tommy. Kiss decided in 96, stop moving forward and become a band that was totally living in the past. So the Spaceman Catman makeup become commodities that the band has to keep. Having new characters is never going to work. Gene and Paul knew that. And let's be real, Ace had his chance. But Tommy came in after Ace proved that he was the same old Ace, unreliable. Without Tommy, Kiss ends at the Psycho Circus. I know this. If I went into a business with 3 other guys and 2 of them quit, then did jack shit for 20 years, then wanted to come back into the fold, then fucked it all up again, I'd take a reliable professional guy like Tommy all day long over the guy that hung me out to dry. And whoever never advanced his craft past, what was it, 76? Can we start a fake Ace cult?
Yeah, I love that.
All right, let's go over to YouTube. The great Chris Flood, my favorite podcast, and I listened to a lot. You said the most important thing we tried to give you, quality. Other Kiss podcasts are already doing top 10 Kiss albums for the 5th time. So now you're my exclusive Kiss-only podcast.
Well, thank you, Chris. Much appreciated.
Better not catch you cheating on us.
No. Don't let me find you sleeping with another man.
Yeah. Frank Angelucci Jr.
Hey!
Hey, how you doing, Paisan? Hello again, my Kiss Paisans.
Yeah.
Great show as usual. Just want to say, when I heard Tom jokingly say, I'm not racist, I like Cool in the Gang, it nearly destroyed me this morning. Laughed out loud, kept hitting rewind, and to laugh again. I know people who would say that for real, not think twice. That needs to be on Shout It Out Loudcast merch. Although Cool may get the gang after you for using the name. Keep it up, Tom and Zeus, and have a great Kiss-tard summer.
Oh, nice. Thank you. You know, that would be cool if we had shirts on the front just said, I'm not racist, and on the back they said, I like Cool in the Gang.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
XYZ8655. Yeah, I'll say it. I can't remember when I stopped listening to podcast. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was when I discovered you guys. I haven't stopped laughing since. Thanks, dude. And then Marty White hates them. I don't know what happened between them. But
something happened.
So if you mention 3 sides, Marty's got to jump in.
Yeah.
I stopped listening to them when I bought a poster from that zucchini fella, and there were stains from a meatball sub all over it.
Oh, God. Jesus.
That wasn't meatball sauce. That was just some Parmesan cheese.
God.
Fucking Ace laugh. What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Tom's favorite, Chef Salami Tits. Tom said it best. No reason why you can't like Ace and Tommy.
Yeah, I don't. We're not going to spend a whole episode on that, but yeah, exactly.
That's what I got, Tom. Over to you.
All right, let's see. We got on Instagram, couple comments here from Junior Vintage, as always. Looking back, I'm disappointed they didn't produce more albums in Tommy's 21 years with the band. There was definitely potential based on his solid guitar playing and past writing credits. P.S. Stand is one of the cheesiest Kiss songs of all time. Right up there with Nothing Can Keep Me From Puking on You and Hold Me, Touch Me.
Who is this person?
That's Junior Vintage, longtime Instagram contributor.
He needs to get a new perspective on life.
No, you're spot on, Junior Vintage.
No.
Frozen Tears Official, which is the band of our buddy from down under there, Thanos. Love the show, boys. Tommy deserves the respect and the kudos that you have given him. Loved his stuff with Black and Blue, Harlow, and obviously Kiss. My favorite lead is Modern Day Delilah. Yeah, that the guitar on that really is killer. Let's go through a few emails before we move on. We got an email from Patrick Butterworth, who's in the title says, "Guess who rules?" And when you open it up, it's a picture that says, "You do."
Okay.
Wait, what does it say inside, Zeus, when you open it up?
You do.
You do.
And then we got one from our buddy Anthony Hunt. Tommy Thayer episode was excellent. I'm glad you've taken the time to point out and celebrate his contribution. As a 50-something who started playing guitar about 40 years ago, Ace is pretty much the reason I picked up the guitar. However, in my opinion, Tommy is a big part of the reason I've been able to see Kiss live over the last 28 years or so. And then he shares a really cool story about seeing Tommy for the first time. Great stuff as always from Anthony. Thank you so much for sharing that. Appreciate it. And we are going to finish up our feedback here with an email from Russell Hall. Russell here from Down Under. I'm a new listener to your brilliant podcast. Loving it, Tom and Zeus. So, a few times while you read out your listeners' emails, you speak of Thanos Akratides from Australia. And it was in my head why that name was familiar. Then today you dropped the remaining clue, the band name Frozen Tears. Oh my fucking God. I was the bass player in an 80s band called Night with Thanos. Great times, great memories. Thank you. You see that I don't do social media, so I'll have to chase him up. Thank you for the connection, my friends. Keep up the great work, Russell Hall. Well, Russell, this is a multi-level amazing email. First of all, thank you for being a new listener and for saying the kind things you did about us and the show. Truly appreciate that. But when Shout It Out Loudcast can reunite band members together, I mean, that is just incredible. And not to mention one of our best friends and longest supporters of the show, Thanos Akratides. So, Russell, you, my friend, have the comment of the week.
Good answer. Good answer. I like the way you think. I'm going to be watching you.
Yeah, Tom, I DM'd that, screenshot that to Thanos. He writes, yep, he was in my first sort of reasonable band, Night. Great guy. And then he puts up like rock emojis. So apparently these guys are buddies. Hopefully they'll connect and the love will continue.
That's awesome. Love to see that. Very, very cool.
Great. And what's cool, Tom, is Patreon.
Yeah.
And we love our Patreon members. We just had our second video chat of the year, this time with Demon and Star Child members. It was a ton of fun, a couple hours worth of inside jokes, laughs, Kiss talk, all sorts of stupid stuff. But a good time for all was had. Patreon is the family that you can join that supports Shout It Out Loudcast. You come in, you join, and you subscribe to one of the 4 tiers that we have. There are different monetary contributions that helps this show. And with that, you get different perks. So the guys on the video chat got to see the new Shout It Out Loudcast koozie, the new Shout It Out Loudcast double-sided guitar picks, and other stuff and merch we have, and the T-shirts for the Demon tier. We have the stickers as well. There's just a ton of involvement that you get when you're in Patreon. Never mind the video chats. You get involvement in the album review crew and that selection. That's for everybody in Patreon. There's also the March Madness. There's polls. There's sneak peeks. There's the conversations that we have online. Oh my God. It's a ton of fun. There's a reason why our Patreon just grows. It doesn't get smaller. It grows all the time. And we can't thank you guys enough. We really appreciate the support. It's a big help to us, and our Patreon family means the world to us. In addition, last night, our Patreon members, and we're going to share this, got to see a sneak peek. We'll share it in the news section, but they also got to see a very rare sneak peek of something. And those guys deserve it because Patreon is a huge reason of Shout It Out Loudcast continued success. We just had the Tommy episode, one of our biggest ever, and the show doesn't slow down, keeps growing. Thank you, everybody, for being there, and especially our Patreon family.
Guys, you're amazing. I mean, thank you so much. Especially, we had a blast last night. We're recording on a Wednesday night right now, Tuesday on the 16th. We had a great Patreon chat with some demons and Star Children. Tons of fun, great time. And I apologize that I was in the middle of a brutal thunderstorm and got cut out twice.
Yeah, and it's starting again, so we better finish this episode.
It's starting again right now. I'm in the line of fire here for another brutal storm here in southern New Hampshire. So, but anyways, thank you guys so much. It was a ton of fun, and thank you to all the Patreons. Your continued support and generosity is what keeps the show alive. So, thank you so much. As we always say, it never gets tiring to thank you guys.
I almost forgot. Go to shoutitoutloudcast.com, and on the landing page, you'll see Patreon listed there. Click on that and you'll find out how you can subscribe and become a member and help the show. Tom, what we do next is we go to Kiss World. Not much going on again, but that's how it is.
Yeah, it's really nothing going on. We were kind of talking about this last night during the Patreon Zoom chat, and it's for me personally, it's just kind of a bummer. That there's just nothing going on. You know, the only thing you see here is Gene did a show here. Maybe Bruce is doing an appearance there. Maybe Paul is posting a picture on Twitter of him not wearing a shirt or looking like the man in a yellow hat.
Though. He does look like physically he looks good.
He looks.
I'm not talking about his crooked face or his stupid hats, but like his body for a fucking guy that age. Good for him. God bless.
One of my favorite comments. And obviously the timing was just bad for Paul. And you don't know what's going on. He looked like he was on a vacation. So he's leaning up against a thing. He's like, something like just checking in, and he's got, he's got no shirt on. And somebody comments, Trump just got shot. Not a good time for a picture like this. And I'm just like, okay, I'm not really sure Paul was paying attention to the pulse of the American politics.
Yeah, I mean, he sounds like he's like somewhere in the Caribbean or something, and he's just fucking, hey, what's up? Let's take a photo. I'll upload it. Hey, you fucking asshole.
Don't you realize what's going on? Like, but anyways,
internet, man. The internet.
No, I know. But yeah, right now, there's really nothing. There's just nothing going on. It's just
set the rent.
Yeah, it's the rent, motherfucker.
Well, a couple things though, Tom.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bruce had the comment. It was a nice article in Guitar Magazine, right?
Yeah.
And which, the big takeaway was that he said that he wouldn't have done the Spaceman, if asked and things like that. And he's like, and then he put a comment out there about, well, that's why I believe Ace respects me.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
We talked about this.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I think Bruce has never been like that. To me, I think that's a dig. Okay. To me, I think Bruce has come to the realization, like, what am I doing? There's no meal train. Like, I don't have to be nice. Like, there's nothing going on with Kiss these days. And I've been nice and I've been a good team player and I've always been there for them. And they didn't even invite me to the last show. They have nothing else going on. So why don't I just fucking spit out what I'm thinking? I don't need to, because that's not like him to say that. So I'm thinking he's just like, fuck it. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think when we interviewed him at the beginning of the year, after the show, he had some very pointed emotional words, and he deserves to have those words. But he was still
restrained.
He was restrained a little bit, but we could feel the tone. But here, I think you're right. The last thing I would ever accuse Bruce of being is petty and vindictive. I would never use those words on him, ever.
But I think he's always felt this way, and he's just open to saying it.
I think he's emotional, and he should be. And I think he feels slighted, and that's my opinion. He didn't say that, and I think he should feel slighted because he was.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is his way of just kind of being very, very honest and very, very frank, in my opinion. And we talked about this, Zeus, when the story first broke, that at first it's like, that doesn't sound like Bruce, but you pull back a little bit and you're like, you know what? Fuck it. Say it, Bruce.
Yeah, I know. And I agree. But like, I don't like him sitting there going, yeah, but Ace respects me. So
what are you
saying? Are you saying that Tommy doesn't deserve respect now? Like, that's not like Bruce.
Right.
Shit like that.
Yeah. The Ace thing.
Like, the Ace
thing
but I get
interesting.
credit. I have my dignity or something like that. Like, what are you fucking saying? This guy is like an asshole and he deserves the shit that Ace gives him?
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. The Ace thing kind of caught me off guard because you're right. I interpret that as,
like, Ace is in the right for being that way.
Ace respects me because I didn't put on the Spaceman costume, which means in the next connection to that line of thinking would be, well, that means we disrespect Tommy because he did put on the Spaceman makeup.
And I think probably Eric might be one of Bruce's best friends. So
Agreed.
if that's the same for Tommy, then you're saying that about Eric?
No,
That
because
Ace shouldn't respect Eric. Wait a minute. If because he kept his dignity, he didn't wear that. So are you saying then that Eric Singer shouldn't get respect from Ace either?
I wouldn't make that conclusion just because Peter is so far out of the picture and we don't hear a lot about. There is a handful of
But
people
the
that bitch
reason
about the
to
cat.
hate Tommy
No, I get it.
is the makeup and you wearing it and you're an imposter and all that other stuff. So Singer should be getting, or he does get sometimes.
Yeah,
the
but
shit
there's
that
not-
he gets
Yeah, but there's not a big cheater Chris cult the way there is a fake
because
Ace cult.
Peter is not as loved.
That's what
as
I mean.
Ace is loved.
Correct.
But
Correct.
my point is, the
And Ace
same-
is active. And Ace is currently active out there. And Peter is just gone. Well, not gone, obviously, but Peter's not in the public consciousness right now. Ace is. You can't ignore him, even if you wanted to, like we tried to.
Yeah, it's puzzling. Okay. And then there was another article where he's basically talking about that his band, the Revenge lineup and even the Eric Carr lineup, the Asylum lineup, was just as good as the regular Kiss lineup. And I was shocked to see how many people are like, yeah, I agree.
Oh, there's a lot of
You know
people out
why?
there.
It's because of the drummer. Because
I
of
think-
Eric Singer and Eric Carr are, to most fans, are so far above Peter, and Bruce is at least close to Ace. That's why.
I also think a lot of time has passed, and with that, where people like, you know what, that classic era is great, but sometimes the thought of them in makeup with the stage blown up, I think sometimes that kind of covers up the fact that some of the songs aren't really that great,
And
as
you're thinking
opposed to a lot of that Bruce and Eric
recency
shit.
bias as well, where you're like, yeah, the makeup shit. Yeah, Paul can't even sing. Maybe he's using tracks, this and that. Like, you're like, they're not thinking of like seeing them on the at Winterland in '75,
Of course.
or
Right. Or
playing
Houston in
Largo,
1977 for Love Gun. Right. Right.
Yeah, like things like that. And then
Yep.
you're like, well, wait a minute. Look,
Right.
we love all Kiss eras. And again, you can love all eras. That's the greatness of Kiss.
Yep.
You can love their fucking popish parts in Unmasked or the more Bon Jovi-esque keyboard heavy Crazy Nights. In the end, I've said it a million times. Kiss is Paul and fucking Gene. They're the common thread. Whatever way they go, they still put out great Kiss albums. They are the same and the common denominator through all these years of Kiss for 50 years. It's Paul and Gene. As long as Paul and Gene there, the DNA of Kiss is there. That's how I look at it. And they've added great, talented players over the years to help. And it gives them a different style and a different stuff, which gives us, as fans, a fucking great opportunity to see different versions of them.
Well, that's what I was just going to say, is that as Paul and Gene are steering the ship, I think the other key thing, and I know we're not dismissing the other contributors, but Paul and Gene kept the ship afloat, but I think those other members kept the band on track for what they were trying to do. You needed Eric and Bruce to get you through the 80s. You needed Eric and Bruce to get you into the 90s. Like, Peter's style of drumming you wouldn't have gotten an album like Revenge. We've talked about this before, but I think as important as Paul and Gene are, those key players kind of also helped. They may not have been the steering wheel, but they were there as part of the ship.
And you know what? The only other band that I can kind of think of like that is the Stones and maybe the Eagles, where you get different members have come in, where Ronnie Wood comes in and fucking Mick Taylor comes in, and different guitar sounds and different albums throughout their tenure. And you can pick up like, oh, this is this era. That's that era. Same thing with the Eagles. You can pick up the later years between, which everyone thinks was their most prevalent lineup, and it wasn't. It was only 2 albums with Joe Walsh. But then you have the other ones, and then you add in a Don Felder here and there. And so I like that variety. It gives you different types of bands. I would rather the Eagles be that way than being the same 4 guys throughout their career.
Well, I say the same thing. The supporting cast that Kiss had over the years is what gave them the albums that we love. Paul and Gene.
They added their flavor to them.
Right, Paul and Gene were there, but you needed Vinnie Vincent on "Lick It Up." I'm sorry, you did. Whenever we get to that album,
fucking wrote 8 of 10 songs.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, are you kidding me?
Right.
Oh, yeah. And Bruce and Eric Carr in the middle 80s.
You needed all that. Yep.
Oh, absolutely. It just gave them a different style, a different thing. But again, without that nucleus of Paul and Gene, they're like, let's have a different maybe rhythm, a little bit faster, a little bit slower, a little more poppy, but it's still verse, chorus, verse of Gene and Paul.
Right. Yep.
And I think it's excellent that, you know, Bruce is giving out his opinions these days. It's kind of refreshing. I just, you know, some of the wording is a little bit interesting.
I got you. Yep.
Right. And then Bruce has an event on Monday, July 22nd. So, you know, good luck if you have a couple of days when this episode comes out to do this. It's a KISS tribute benefit. You wanted the best, with all the proceeds going to Alzheimer's Association. Free admission and open to all ages. It's an entire day of KISS music and KISS theme events. 3 stages of music with 50 musicians performing all day for your enjoyment, as well as vendors and face painting. Special meet and greet opportunities with Bruce will be available. Proceeds go to charity. ESP's donating a beautiful blue ESPL limited edition 1987 model guitar that he's going to be performing on. Details are there. You can go to Bruce Kulick's social media accounts and find out all about it. But this is in Ohio, I believe, Cleveland.
Yeah, it's in Cleveland.
Yeah, but it looks like a fun event, guys. If you're in the area, check it out. That's nice of Bruce to do it.
Yeah, very cool. Good for Bruce. I love that he's staying active. God love. I mean, you know, we have our opinions. He has his opinions, but at the end, we love Bruce, and you know, God loves him that he's still being active and doing what he loves, playing music and playing KISS music.
Yeah, Tom. The last bit of news is I was saying, hinting at it when we were doing our Patreon plug. We gave them a sneak peek. We were able to get our editor's copy of Raise Your Glasses.
Oh, yes, we did.
So it's not a make-believe story. The book is almost here. We got the editor's copy. Got to check margins, grammar. How does it look on the page? To see kind of like our own book get delivered from Amazon to your house is quite, humbling.
To see our logo, to see our names, to see our pictures, to see fan pictures, to see that this has taken 18 months plus, and that as I'm talking to you right now, I am holding it in my hand, flipping the pages. It's humbling, and it's overwhelming. And
it's going to be here soon.
Yeah.
And we'll have some marketing and advertisement and all that stuff coming up. It's going to be sold on Amazon. It is going to, I think, blow your mind away. It's better than we expected.
It's just, we said this before. I'll say it again. When we did this show, we said, let's make a KISS podcast that we want to listen to. This is a book that we would want to read as KISS fans. And I think you guys are just going to be blown away by it. So we're so excited to finally unleash it to the world very soon.
Yeah. So some of the little things that you might see, and we'll be obviously promoting about the book. We have over 1,500 comments in this book.
Over 115 contributors.
Yeah. We have like 9 KISS songwriters in here. Yep. So you're not just listening to Tom and Zeus give their opinion about Give Me More. You're getting Holly Knight talking about the songs she wrote about with KISS. You're getting Desmond Child talking about all the songs he wrote with KISS. All these things that we want to see in a book, we try to put it in this book. Again, when it comes out, we're going to be doing some marketing, some promoting, but get excited. Guys, it's coming. It's almost here. And we can't wait till you get it. Raise your glasses.
It's going to be awesome. That's all I can say. So just sit tight. You've waited this long. We've waited this long. It's coming soon, and it's alive, and it's real.
Yep. Speaking of waiting long, shit, Tom, when you going to bring a fan into the shed? Dude, I'm dying in here. All the milk chocolate that I had it's all melted. It's all syrupy now. I need a straw to eat it. Oh, shit. I don't think that's chocolate. Scout.
All right, we're back. And Ace has been having a real tough time. So in southern New Hampshire, I should say New England, pretty much, we've been dealing with about a 10-day blistering heat wave. And the shed is just no place for a guy like Ace. I mean, I have 2 windows and air vents up top there. It's just not the poor guy. He's just
That's why he looks like he's lost like he's 50 pounds.
You know what he looks like? He kind of looks. I remember in E.T. when they found him in the river and he's all white and dehydrated and all fucked up. That's Ace.
Yeah. And, speaking of that, on our Loudcasters group, we had that picture up of him. He looked like he was shitting his pants.
Or he looked like he just did.
And it was not a good look. What
I love, we made it through almost. I was wondering at what point we have to talk about Ace shitting his pants. It's just, you just can't. It's like a segment now. It's like, okay, let's do feedback. Let's do Patreon. Let's do Kiss World. Let's do Ace shitting his pants.
And it's always like he can't keep his bowels. But whoever we found to be this character would always have a shit problem because our sense of humor is toilet humor. So I find all these things hilarious. The stupidest stuff that we send each other, like people like falling down and landing in shit, or fucking people farting on each other at the supermarket. I mean, I just fucking love that stuff.
It's never not funny. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, Tom, let's move on and we'll get to the main subject. And that is Kiss on Arsenio.
So this was 1993. Do you remember? I watched Arsenio. I love the show. I thought it was funny, but this was May of 93. So this was like the end of our sophomore year of college. We were probably already home by then. So I absolutely did not see this episode when it ran live. Did you? Do you remember seeing this at all?
I never saw it live. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I mean, most of the time we were always in college. This was either the 20th or 21st of May. We were in school then. We didn't even have cable. Well,
and the other thing, too, I was looking at this. So May of 93. So when they were on, the Revenge Tour was over for a while. This appearance was right around when Alive 3 was released. But, I mean, before we get into the episode and kind of break it down, my first thing was, I know Arsenio Hall was a huge, huge, huge show. But Kiss being on Arsenio Hall, it just didn't feel right, because I don't know. I feel like they're trying anything that they can do to remain in the public consciousness. So I guess the flip side of that is good for them, because Arsenio Hall was like the biggest fucking thing on planet Earth in the 90s.
Well, he was the coolest.
Exactly. That's what I mean. And Kiss was not cool in 1993, really.
No, and they were promoting Kiss Alive 3 at the time. Mm-hmm. So not even Revenge. And they had the Revenge look and the Revenge stuff. Yeah. And Arsenio mentions that they're there. The other guests were Father Guido Sarducci and Jane Seymour from Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman.
Yeah, and I was pissed because the video on YouTube edits everything out. It's just the Kiss segment. Like, I wanted to see Jane Seymour. God damn, 30 years ago.
Oh, she's hot now.
Oof. Well, she's hot now, but I was so glad that Father Guido Sarducci bit was edited out.
Yeah, the first thing he does his comedy bit, and he sees some guy, some Kiss tard. And if you were listening to the show and that was you, dressed up as Paul Stanley. And
it was a great outfit.
Yeah, and then Arsenio tried to make the joke of, and this will date everything. It's like, I thought he came as Paul Stanley, but it's really Tammy Faye Baker or something like that.
Talk about what a dated reference.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Big time dated reference.
That was bad.
So, yeah, then he goes on and that poor Kiss tard. Oh. He makes an appearance again a little bit later, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And then he asks some like stoner dude in the Kiss crowd, like, hey, man, he tries to make like stoner fucking. I'm like, Kiss isn't a stoners, man.
Well, I was just going to say two things. I thought Arsenio was kind of a dick to that guy. Like I thought he carried on way too long with the joke.
Yeah, the joke continued. Yeah.
And second of all, I totally agree with you. Kiss is not a stoner band. Like, hey, dude, like making like the joint, the joint little gesture.
And then his joke was, hey, man, can you believe they took the makeup off, dude? Dude, that was 10 years ago from that show. It's 93. They took it off in 83.
It was almost like the producers told Arsenio, hey, Kiss is coming on your show. Figure it out. And Arsenio's like, oh, God, okay.
Did they wear makeup? No, they took it off. Oh,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years ago, buddy.
Yeah. The other thing, before we get into this, I thought it was friggin' hilarious when he comes out and his band's playing. Only in 1993 could you fist bump the guitar player and have it come off as cool.
The guitar player.
Oh, my God.
Guitars.
God, the 90s were rough.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Arsenio called them the legendary band.
Yeah, I like that.
And then he was like sticking his tongue out to the crowd and joking like, this I get in trouble for this, but on this show, it's not getting in trouble by sticking my tongue out.
But that's what I mean. He was going like all the basic, like the makeup jokes,
corny jokes.
The tongue sticking out jokes. It's like, all right, I get it.
All right. So the first thing they do is they come out and they perform Detroit Rock City, and Arsenio says from Kiss Alive 3.
Yep.
Any comments on the performance?
Yeah. First of all, I absolutely love this look. I mean, this lineup and this look is fucking incredible. I can't get enough of it. I have a ton of bootlegs from this era. I love Alive 3. I love Revenge. I love this look and sound of the band. Couple things I noticed right off the bat. I know it was 30 years ago, but holy fuck, does Eric have a ton of energy. This is not sleepy Eric Singer behind the drums. This is fucking badass Eric Singer. Paul sounded fantastic. Gene looked great. Gene looked really young. This is pre having his face butchered by plastic surgery, Gene. He looked wicked young, but I thought the stage sounded cool. I thought the band sounded great. I thought they looked awesome and sound awesome. So I was like, fuck yeah. I loved it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought Paul looked great. I thought he sounded great. I thought the band looked great. I mean, even just look at Eric perform.
That's what I mean. He looked great.
Look at him. And then look at what we saw on the end of the road tour.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yep.
You don't see the fucking energy he has?
Yeah.
I thought Bruce looked good. Even Gene looked badass.
Yep. It was great.
And then they come back and they do a little bit of an interview. So we're going to play that interview for you now. Here it is.
Yeah, there they are. Thanks for coming, first of all.
It's a pleasure. This is great.
Yeah, man.
They told us that some of these people have been here since 7 this morning.
Let me ask you a question. The focus here should be survival. You have been through everything, and they're still screaming. And let's talk about some of the things. Personnel changes, taking off the makeup, that was a big risk. I mean, did you think then, oh, no?
I think we had to do it. By the beginning of the 80s, it was like we had gone through every area that we could have gone to. I mean, the thing had just run its course. You had to move on or become a caricature. And besides, there were a lot of other bands wearing makeup, so we just had to move on.
It was real important for us at that point to either show that we were worthy of continuing, or maybe if we were only just a bunch of guys in makeup, it was time to call it quits, but they said no, and we thank you.
The critics were always trying to throw a wrench in it. It seems like the people who are really popular among the people are never popular with the critics. They never want to put you all in the rock elite category. You know what I mean?
Well, we're honored. You know, we were supposed to get the key to the city of Los Angeles a couple of days ago, and that really worried us. We were relieved when we found out that the mayor came to his senses, and we didn't get the key, so we are still a rock and roll band.
We don't have a problem with it, though, because somebody had the mistaken notion that one day out of the year was Kiss Day. The guy really missed the point. Every day is Kiss Day. That's all.
I know you all remember the period that you went through where they were trying to say Kiss actually, the letters meant like kids. It was something about Satan.
Service, Knights in Satan service, kids in Satan. We're not that smart. I wish we were that smart to come up with something like that, but we didn't. I think the people who come up with that stuff are more frightening than we could ever be.
I think you've always got to be suspicious of anybody who points fingers and uses the word Satan at the end of that speech says, by the way, there's the post office box number for your checks. Just send them on in. God, praise God. Give me over that. You've got to be suspicious of those guys.
It's always weird how whenever a preacher, whenever he's being tested by higher powers, he's always in a cheap hotel with a hooker. I mean...
Probably a Kiss fan.
Yeah, the girl, sure. Now, when I've seen you work, there's always fire and blood. Have you ever been hurt? You ever had an accident?
Well, I used to be much taller. Yeah, I mean, every once in a while the hair catches fire and stuff, but in the beginning I used to...
Wait. You say that so casually. Your hair caught on fire?
Well, in the beginning I used to, I still breathe fire, but in the beginning I used to spray my hair. And I didn't read the little print that says your hair catches fire, don't breathe fire when you do this. And so later on I figured it out. But the very first show we ever did, it caught the whole side went up like this. So for a while I looked kind of like this. And then, then I figured it out. So now I'm pretty good. I could take your face off from the other end of the room. Just wham!
The shy members of the group down here, a lot of pressure when there are personnel changes. Talk on that.
Yeah, he's the newest guy, Eric Singer.
Hello, homie.
Me and Arsenio got some in common. We're both from Cleveland.
Yes, our Cavs, man. That's right, we got burned this year again. We might have to play next year.
And I've been here nearly 9 years, Arsenio, and I'm still the new guy, too. It's weird.
You know what? Maybe we should take a serious moment and talk about a next Kiss member who's gone on.
I was just going to say that we were inducted to the Rock Walk of Fame here in Hollywood recently, and the three of us stepped forward and said that the fourth member unfortunately passed away about a year and a half ago, Eric Carr, due to cancer, and that his name was added, in his own plaque, and he deserves everything.
We wouldn't be here today.
We'll be right back with more Kiss. One more number.
So not too long, quick little interview. Some of the questions that Kiss probably was asked that they've probably been asked a million times before.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Taking the makeup off, critics, Knights in Search of Satan, whatever the fuck that stupid thing is. Have you ever been hurt with the blood and fire? And, the responses were the typical ones. I thought they sounded fine. The responses were fine. But what'd you think of those questions and answers?
I thought it was I felt like it was an awkward, uncomfortable, interjection, I should say, of the whole Eric Carr thing. Probably because I felt like the interview got cut off abruptly there, where they talked about, you mentioned, how they talk about the makeup and the Knights in Satan service and Gene burning his hair and the, jokes about the new guys. And Bruce is like, I've been here for 10 years. I'm still the new guy. But I thought the Eric Carr thing, I love that they brought him up. I just felt like that was like kind of like an awkward transition to that conversation topic. But
yeah, they were saying one guy can't be here, and they were talking about some sort of like Walk of Fame, not obviously not Hall of Fame, but they basically mentioned Eric Carr, and it got kind of cut off. But I think they were saying something like, we wouldn't be here without him. Yeah,
which I thought was pretty interesting. But then it was just abruptly cut off.
Yeah. But anyway, it was funny because if you watch the video, Bruce and Eric just look awkward sitting there on the side.
Well, because they know that they're never going to be asked anything.
I know. It's just so.
Yep.
I'm uncomfortable.
Well, plus Eric had only been there for one album. He's only been there for a year or two. You know? And Bruce, poor Bruce, they just throw him down the end. He's been there for 10 years. And again, does the audience really want to hear anything that Kiss has to say? No, they want to see them perform live. So I feel like Arsenio did the best he could do. Kind of check off all the obvious boxes of Kisstory type questions.
Yeah. And then they come back and they do a performance of Deuce because that's what they're promoting, Kiss Alive 3. And for some reason, the imagery gets into black and white.
I thought that was kind of cool. Just kind of give it an effect or something. I mean, it wasn't really necessary, but I just thought it was. But anyway, trying to give it an effect.
They go to a black and white and they perform Deuce. Obviously, they do the dance, right?
Yep. I also thought it was cool. I don't know if you picked up on this. They're singing the song, and Gene just out of nowhere just screams out, "We're still rocking."
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of fucking cool. I mean, maybe I made a bigger deal of that because I'm the Kiss fan that I am and you're the Kiss fan that you are, but I thought that was kind of cool that he just kind of interjected that in the middle of singing the song.
But I see them at this point, which is interesting because of the Bruce comments recently in that article.
Yeah.
About as good musically as ever.
Don't get me going.
Right?
I'm telling you, I've said this before, like Jericho. I absolutely loved the reunion tour. It was the greatest concert I've ever seen in my life. One of the greatest Kiss moments of my life. However, I wanted more and more and more out of this band. This lineup they were killing it. Revenge, Alive 3. I know some people don't like Carnival of Souls, but that lineup, I felt like there was so much left to give, and I hate that we got robbed of it. However, we got robbed of it because we got the reunion. But go ahead.
Yeah, you watch their performance, and you think about it. Musically, are they as good as they were in the 70s? They might be, because Ace, I feel like Ace just adds stuff that he wants to, but he may not be able to explain things like Paul and Ace back and forth with stuff. Ace will just come in and add his fucking licks and his talent that he is. But I feel like Bruce, Gene, Eric, and Paul, like musically, they can do anything. Nothing is off the table, and they can communicate better.
Yep.
Right? Because there's less friction and less like, dude, Ace is a genius. Just let him do his own thing, and like he'll add his shit rather than what's going on now.
I think that's a great point you brought up. I think they were more of a band. I think the four of them were a band. They were pros. They had a history. They were technically proficient. They were musically proficient. They were charismatically proficient. I thought this band, they could have done so many things, and they fucking crushed it in these two performances.
Yeah, and Paul was probably as confident as he's ever been.
He looked great, and he sounded amazing. I agree.
Yeah, right?
Yep, I agree.
Well, Tom, before the show ends, there's one little thing that happens.
I got to give Arsenio credit for trying to have a joke here. So they come back from a break, and Arsenio is sitting at his desk, and in the guest chair is the guy from the beginning of the show dressed in Paul makeup and the outfit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And Arsenio's like, well, I thought I'd ask you some of the questions I didn't have a chance to ask Paul because we were out of time. And Arsenio's like, nah, not really. I'm just kidding. And then the credits roll. But I thought it was kind of a good
I think he said, oh, we're out of time here too?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. And the fucking Kiss guy's like, I thought just getting made fun of.
He did, but I thought I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny.
He tooled on him. It was humiliating. But
a little bit.
Well, anyways, that's Kiss on Arsenio Hall, May of '93. Tom, this is our 15th TV appearance.
Yes.
This is what we've done in the past. Okay. ABC in Concert, Mike Douglas Show, Paul Lynde Halloween Special, Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, Land of Hype and Glory, Kiss on Tomorrow with Tom Snyder, Kids Are People Too, Gene and Ace on the Don Lane Show, Kiss on Fridays, MTV Kiss Unmasking, Paul and Gene on Oprah, Kiss on Arsenio Hall now. I'm going chronologically. Kiss Mad TV Halloween Spooktacular, Kiss on Family Guy, very special Family Guy freaking Christmas, and Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Oh, God.
Those are the 15 things. Do you want to tell everybody how you've ranked yours?
Yes.
And so where do you rank this?
Yep. So last right now, number 14 is the Mad TV Halloween Spooktacular. Then we got Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, Kids Are People Too, Kiss on Family Guy, Gene and Ace on Don Lane, Paul and Gene on Oprah, Kiss with Tom Snyder, MTV Unmasking, Paul Lynde Halloween Special, Mike Douglas, Don Kirshner, Land of Hype and Glory, Kiss on Fridays, and ABC in concert. So as I said, they played Detroit, Rock City, and Deuce, so whatever, classics. That's what they're going to play on a show like Arsenio. They're not going to pull out, fucking Unholy or Take It Off. But I love this lineup. I gush about them every chance I can. So seeing them in their prime at that time in 1993, nothing's ever really going to knock off any of these legendary 70s TV appearances. But I am going to put this at number 7.
Whoa.
I'm going to put this. Yeah, I'm going to put this. So above it is all classic 70s makeup stuff. So this is going to go right below Paul Lynde Halloween Special and right above the MTV Kiss Unmasking. I love this. 2 live performances with a lineup that I absolutely adore. So yeah.
Okay. Tom, my rankings are Macy's Day Parade at 14. Then going to the top, it's Kiss Mad TV Halloween Spooktacular, Paul and Gene on Oprah, Kids Are People Too, Gene and Ace on the Don Lane Show, Land of Hype and Glory, Kiss on Tomorrow with Tom Snyder, MTV Kiss Unmasking, Kiss on Family Guy, a very special Family Guy freaking Christmas, Kiss on Fridays, ABC in Concert, Paul Lynde Halloween Special, Mike Douglas Show number 2, Don Kirshner's Rock Concert number 1. I am going to put this at number 5.
Ooh, higher than me.
Yeah.
Damn. I
Kiss
like
on
it.
Fridays.
I like it.
Okay. Had Kiss performing songs like I believe, but they also played World Without Heroes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't even know. I think they played The Oath as well. But
yep.
Yeah. And the rest is, I think the most overrated is the Tom Snyder one. Yeah, I know there are famous lines in it, but it was just uncomfortable after a while. It was just, nobody wants to see fucking people squirming, and it's just uncomfortable. I don't know.
No, I agree.
There's no music. So
Right.
for me, the performances were top notch, and it's a little snapshot of where the band was in time at that point. That's a great way of seeing the Revenge lineup.
Yeah.
Right there.
Agreed.
So I put it at number 5.
I like it. All
right, Tom, what we do next, we go to question of the week.
All right. So our question of the week comes from Mike H. And we've touched on this similarly, maybe not fully, but I feel like years back we may have touched on this a little bit, but let's see what we think. If the debut album in 1974 sold like wildfire, do you think that we would still be discussing this band 50 years later, or would they have fizzled out by their 3rd album? I kind of like that I kind of like that theory.
I don't see why they would have faded out. Help me out.
Okay. So his theory, or at least I'm going to kind of imagine what his theory is. So because the first album didn't sell, because the second album didn't sell, because the third album didn't sell, and then that forced them into a live, they just kept pumping out content until somebody liked them, right? So I guess the theory is if their first album was Van Halen 1 or fucking Boston 1976 debut, would they have reached such a peak that the only way to go would be down, and they would have just faded, as opposed to what they did was the opposite, where they grew up. The trajectory went up from 74 to 78.
I'm not sure. I guess I would probably think they would continuously do as well as they've done, because now they have a little bit more experience and they're getting some success, and maybe they would have cut out some of the stupid shit they try to do in the middle of all that. So I see no reason why they wouldn't have gotten to the pinnacle of Love Gun the same way. They'd probably just be more respected because they were big off the beginning, not like they had to make their bones live and then people are like, oh yeah, it's just the gimmick. But if people like the music from day one, then maybe the gimmick thing wouldn't be such a sticking point to the critics.
So I think one important thing for me would be if that first album sells like wildfire, to quote Mike in the question, and they become massive, don't you feel like that would have accelerated the deterioration of Peter and Ace? Because now they're super rich early. They're super famous early. They're going to be that big of a pain in the ass early. You know what I mean? As opposed to waiting until 76, 77 when the wheels really started to fall off, when they already had 5 or 6 albums under their belt.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I know.
You never know how things shape. One little thing here or there.
Yeah, agreed.
Could have changed everything in their direction.
That's why I love when people ask us what if questions. So Mike H, thanks, buddy. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the great question. Always appreciate it.
Tom, where can people find us?
Our website always is the best place. ShoutItOutLoudcast.com. That you can find all of our episodes. The Shout Out Loudcast episodes, Dorm Damage, Album Review Crew, Zeppelin Chronicles, everything's there. All the links to our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Everything is there, including our Amazon shopping link, our Amazon merch link, our Patreon link. Also, all of our rankings, links to our incredible guests that we've been so lucky to have on the show. Everything's there. And, of course, if you want to send us a question of the week, please do so like Mike H. We read one every week, and at the end of the year, we do a big mailbag. So please keep the questions coming. We urge you to use our email, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. That way, if you do it on social media, sometimes other people see the question and people start commenting on the question. But whatever's best for you, you could send us a DM or email is the best way to do it. And, of course, we always like to say that we are a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network of shows.
Yeah, Tom, people can DM us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're on Threads and TikTok. Check out our Spotify playlist. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us one of those 5-star child reviews, which are really appreciated. We're almost at the point where Spotify has more listens than our Apple podcast does. But regardless, we really appreciate if you give us a 5-star child review. If you do, we'll definitely read it on the show and give you a shout out. Please remember to go to our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com. There you can find out all the details about the new Raise Your Glasses book that's coming out.
Yes.
You can join our Patreon. You can read our rankings. You can do anything you can imagine about this show on our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com, shoutitoutloudcast.com. What we'd like to do is end on famous last words. Tom, do you have any?
Always. Honey, don't put your man behind his years. And baby, stop crying all your tears. Baby, do the things he says to do. Do it. Do it now.
Moving fast down 95. Hit top speed, but I'm still moving much too slow. I feel so good, I'm so alive. Hear my song playing on the radio. It goes, get up, get down. Everybody down.
Everybody down. Put that cookie down.
Everybody be down. What was that guy's name that listened to our
Matthew Bedow. Everybody contact Matthew Bedow.
Guy's probably like, what the fuck? I didn't write in.
Fuck? I didn't do anything. How did I get
you guys just mentioning me? Anyways, Tom, Loudcasters, Kiss Army, thank you. And keep an eye out. Raise Your Glasses coming soon.
Guys, you're the best. Thank you so much for everything. Patreons, thank you so much for a great time the other night on the Zoom chat. Can't wait to do another one of those soon. You guys are great. Zeus, as always, my friend, thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout. Hit the music. What I'd like now is for all you fat, out-of-shape, worldwide kiss-tards to keep the noise down while I show your ladies what a real sexy man looks like.
Listen, all you people out there sitting on rented furniture, settle down.
Cut the music. Anybody seen Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?